Okay, Ralph Havens here, physical therapist and integrated manual therapist from Bellingham, Washington. I'm with my good friend and colleague and longtime teacher and mentor, Dr. Tom Giammatteo, chiropractor, naturopath, and co-developer of integrated manual therapy with the late Sharon Giammatteo. And today we're going to talk about GI regen and the gut and healing the gut. And Dr. Tom Giammatteo's research was on an herb called tribulus, from what I understand. And um, we've used it a long time. I'm going to talk to him. And the gut is interesting because it's like, I want to ask you, Tom, about the supplement and the way to heal the gut and why that's important and things around dietary things. And also the gut affects us. Like when we're going through really, really tough times, for some reason, I feel it in my gut. It literally hurts in my gut. So I want to talk to you about healing the gut. And I'll just open it up to you and hear all about it. GI regen, tribulus, the gut.
Yeah, so Ralph, thank you. And we're finally beginning our launch into having an online web store for a nutritional company that's been around for over 40 years called IMT Wellness. And so the IMT Wellness brand has been there since the formation of integrated manual therapy because we feel that the school of integrated manual therapy is just as competitive as chiropractic and naturopathic school, which you've completed. And so we're recognized by the nutritional companies that only sell to doctors our style of medicine, which is called functional medicine, and it's also called biophysiological functional medicine, which means we actually take the structure of the process and do it together. And I know you've used this for hundreds of 10 to 20 years with your family, and you've seen some miracle cures with the whole product line. But we built our product line off of integrity, and we are a nutraceutical company, which means our herbs are so pure that we can actually measure the amount of phytophenols and everything else that are pharmaceutical grade quality therapeutics in it. And we really, IMT Wellness brand does bring that to the process. And up until this past February, the only way you can get it was to have the special phone number and call through our customer service person, Deandra, and order it. And you had to show that you had licenses and we were a healthcare practitioner. So IMT Wellness has been used by hundreds of thousands of people. I feel that we benefited over 3,000 people, keeping them healthy and alive during COVID recovery and oncology and a lot of other things. And today, one of the flagship products is this GI Regen, which in the older history was called the Tribulus package. And we have a proprietary blend and of 5 herbs that are all vegan, vegetarian to do with that. So GI Regen was first used because it was probably 2005, and we were getting a lot of customers in, and they were all vomiting, and we had a practice going on with 30 doctors and 100 patients, and like 10 people came up with this nauseous food poisoning. And we walked back into our pharmacy of herbs, and we started pulling things together that we knew would help the GI system. And we do a motility test, which actually is more accurate than Chinese pulse diagnosis sometimes. And we came up with these 5 herbs. And for about 10 years, we were just having all these. They came in 3 different bottles, 3 different product lines, and we combined it together. And we'd call that our tribulus package or our food poisoning package. And we'd send people to third world countries, and they felt better. And then as we kept growing in the research of functional medicine, I finally found a manufacturer that would actually send me the herbs pre-making them so I could break down all the herbs and fill the ones I were thinking that were the most special. Then we came up with 5 of them. So that turned into GI Regen. And Regen is spelled capital R small e, capital G, E-N. And it's actually an acronym for the style of medicine that we practice. So Regen actually stands for responsible, ecological growth, energized nutraceuticals.
Nice.
Responsible, ecological, grown, energized nutraceuticals. So every time when you make a new bottle of something or get a reorder of it, they actually send me the plants beforehand to say, no, I like this one, I don't like that one. So they're all personal.
I want to let people know when you say you like it or don't like it, and the motility testing, just to kind of clarify, you have a way, we have a way to put a hand on bodies and then feel what the effect is with this herb to see which herb, like out of the different tribuluses, which one has the biggest response for the different organ systems, and then use that one. So yeah, when you say you like it, it's like you're testing it.
We tested on 20 to 100 different people. All like even cranberries grown a number of different places in the United States. So each growth of that plant and the time in the sun all changes the formula a little bit. So we adapted to that. So GI Regen has been in this capsulated form for probably 2005. We made it into the single pill. And because we took out all the other things that were in other fillers, it's 100 times more powerful, right?
That's
And
awesome.
it's part of a 4-phase program of how our nutrition is slightly different than other people's nutrition. You can go to a naturopath or a nutritionist and they go, oh, wow, you must be depleted in zinc. Let's give you a pill like that. And they're actually probably practicing pharmaceutical with herbs, right? They're just hitting and they're trying to do whack-a-mole. And the process of integrative manual therapy isn't you need zinc. It's my question is, why isn't your body absorbing zinc? What happened? Is it a poor diet? Or is there something else broken? Do you have enough acid in the stomach? Or even when people have colds, they have that problem too, right?
Yeah, like why would some people catch the cold and some people wouldn't catch the cold? It's
Right.
yeah. And why is that
So,
sometimes some supplements work for people, but sometimes they don't work for some people? Maybe there's another component in the structure that needs to be fixed up first.
yeah. So we look at all those processes. So GI Regen has 5 herbs in it, and they are cranberry, uva ursi, ashwagandha, xylase, and tribulus. All of them are derived from a natural source. So, most people know cranberry is helping with bladder infections, but it also kills some food poisoning pieces at the same time. Uva ursi is a lower GI antiparasitic. Ashwagandha is well known as an Indian herb for adrenal support, but also has some food poisoning properties to it. Xylase is the enzyme that breaks down gluten and helps that fiber disintegrate. And tribulus has a number of things that kill salmonella, E. coli, and botulism, also used as an anti-cancer drug. And the biggest thing for tribulus is that it is the new male libido stimulator. Okay, it also has some characteristics of increasing some testosterone in the body.
And is it still okay for women then? I know it is, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The literature out there, we've been using it for over 35 years. So the process of, yes, it is good for women. In the clinician's hand, it's okay to use during pregnancy. But that combination really helps set the gut to really feel better.
Yeah, and then one more question. If somebody's on an immune suppressant kind of drug, because of rheumatoid arthritis or other conditions, ulcerative colitis, if somebody's on an immunosuppressive drug, that's designed to decrease the immune system, would taking Tribulus be problematic since it helps the immune system, or what do you think of that?
You know, we go back to say, why is the immune system suppressed, right? And there's a gland called the thymus gland that sits in here, and it's very powerful. It helps half the immune system get educated on how to fight their battles. And what we find that it gets very depleted with radiation and pesticides. So a lot of people that are having autoimmune problems, when we regenerate the thymus, help it grow back to its normal length and size, that all those things seem to disappear. So it is one of the best immune suppressed anti helpers in the
Yeah,
body.
but if somebody's on a drug that's designed to decrease the immune system, like they get more immunocompromised on purpose, like the drug is
Yeah.
like, is that okay to take something like Tribulus if you're?
Well, I would go to your clinician and ask about it first,
Yeah.
or you can have a phone consultation with me. And the first 15 minutes we do an interview, it's helpful for the person, and we see if we want to have a medical relationship, and then we do further questions before we.
Yeah, that would be a good thing. Like talk to your medical doctor, talk to Tom, chiropractor, naturopath, functional medicine doctor. So that sounds great. And so the Tribulus, it comes from a special place, doesn't it come from is it Bulgaria or something?
Yeah, we usually farm ours from Bulgaria.
It's tell us a little bit about how out of all the different kinds of places you can get Tribulus and you test for it. I imagine it's like depending on where it's grown and how pristine the area is, and make sure it's not like having
Well,
toxic.
Bulgaria is not the easiest place to get Tribulus. It's not like you grow farms of it, but they do extract it there. They also do it in other European countries at the same time. And with herbs, it's also how much sun did it get that year, how much rainfall did it get. All those processes work into how much the potency of that plant actually has in it.
So you can test it before it goes into your version and see if it was a batch.
And what a nutraceutical is looked at is that they actually take the chemicals and rate the ratios of the almost like a drug in there. So our Tribulus has 95% surfactants in it, which are very powerful. That's the code for seeing how well Tribulus is working for people.
Nice. And I mean, everybody's unique, and I definitely encourage you to talk to Dr. Tom and get a consult and talk to your healthcare practitioners and see if it's the right thing. You know, you and I do this structural approach, integrated manual therapy, help the body heal and get better structure in different areas. So it's like I'm saying everybody's individual, but so you know, it's not like we're saying this is like I guess I say results can vary is the kind of thing, but some success stories. What have you seen with this supplement that's so unique? Like, why is this such a thing to have in people's systems?
Well, the first thing is that people with candida overgrowth seem to do very well with it. People on having SIBO infections do well with it. Helps with some Crohn's and irritable bowel syndromes on that side. But we really look at integrated immunotherapy. How much or does the person have any leaky gut? And this formula, as its combination, helps repair leaky gut and rebalances out the microbiomes of those areas at the same time.
And you know, I just had a client that did really well, just 2 sessions, and cleared this chronic back condition that was going on. And one of the things I told him was to get off of gluten and peanuts, and he did. And he was amazed at how quickly his body got well. So I know we've talked about gluten before. Anything else you want to say about just diet and gluten? And you know, there's also the idea of corn and soy and peanuts and almonds. And
well, we always recommend a basic elimination diet, which people get very angry at us for suggesting.
I know I'm getting to be known as the don't go to Ralph, or not don't go to Ralph, but Ralph's going to put you on a gluten-free diet.
Right. So we always recommend there's 4 food types that really irritate us, and one of them is gluten and oats. No, no oat is ever gluten free. It just has a different name to it called Evian, which is as toxic as the gluten is. Um, no white sugar. Honey and maple syrup are very good. And then no peanuts and no almonds because they have funguses and different viruses on them that complicate. And I call these all neurohyperfacilitators. They're like putting rocket fuel on the whole process. So again, no gluten or sugar, oats, but you could have a little corn, you could have a little rice. Better not to have any starches actually. And then also, then there is no white sugar. So the only things would be maple syrup and honey. Everybody says, well, what about stevia? What about this? The process of making those, sometimes they go bad too. Yeah, almonds have actually been pasteurized in the United States since 2015. And they have when they pasteurize them, they still have the fungus on them that can irritate the system. But you're going to go, Tom, what about oat milk and almond milk? They are actually, in my opinion, are actually irritating the whole world and making them sicker and sicker along the way. And the last is peanuts because they do have an allergen too.
And it's amazing if you've got a chronic condition, you could do a test and just for yourself test it for a month and see, because it's remarkable how that elimination diet can get rid of a lot of stuff, and then you don't have to see so many people.
Right. So it's fun in that way, you know.
Yeah.
So the first, we'll do a series of these. So phase 1 is using the elimination diets. And then also taking GI Regen twice a day is usually for an adult piece. We have animals on it and they're that are having bald spots or seasonal allergies and things they are repaired too. So again, the GI Regen is my first tool that I introduce people to in the practice, and they usually stay on it for 2 to 4 bottles, and their energy gets up because of the ashwagandha. They're feeling better, they're more alert, and they're able to process their lives better.
I bet it helps with perimenopausal kind of symptoms, huh?
It will do that too. Yep.
Yeah. And then after that, after the 2 to 4 bottles, is it a thing to take as a thing every once in a while or every day or every week?
Well, we use it for sending to people to third world countries. The ashwagandha, and it's always a great adrenal support. So when things happen, like if I'm traveling on an airplane, I'll take 2 just before so I can boost my adrenals up and help my gut from the airplane food. If I'm swimming in a lake or a pond, all my triathletes use it. Even my marathoners, every 2 miles, they're popping one on their run. So that it's actually adrenal support for that too. Um, the Tribulus actually helps with muscle growth. And so for my bodybuilders, they take it 20 minutes before they go to the gym, and they get the benefit of having the gut repaired and having muscle re-education at the same time. It's a multi-use tool that is one of the specialties that now that we've launched the website in the next 4 or 5 years, I hope becomes a common name for everybody to start to look for.
Cool. And I'll put the links below everywhere that you find this on Spotify, YouTube. Hopefully everything passes YouTube's guidelines these days. And here at the Facebook thing, I'll put it in the comments. And
and you're giving out a special coupon code so they can.
I am, yeah. So they get 10% off with that code. And so I'll put that all in the links below for sure. And you can talk to Dr. Tom at IMT Wellness. Let's see, let me just go get your site, imtwellnesscenter.com. And his number, if you'd like a consult, is 860-561-2286. So 860-561-2286. He's in Connecticut, but you could also talk to him over phone and Zoom kind of situations. And I'm on the West Coast. Bellingham, Washington, ralphhavens.com. So look for me there. And one more thing, Tom, with me, I had that issue with fluoride and that I had really caused some bone pain and stopped me from running for quite a while until I figured that part out. But when I did my research with that, I found different teas can have fluoride just because it's the naturally occurring fluoride coming up from the
Right.
the food, I mean, from the earth into the plants. And so I started avoiding that. And I found that coconuts, from my research anyway, some of the coconuts were grown in areas that had fluoride, but some weren't. So I tend to avoid coconuts for that reason, or I'll motility test to see, or just limit coconuts. But the different herbs, are they, is there anything concerning about heavy metals or fluoride or anything like that?
Well, during the analysis process, all the herbs are checked for heavy metals and pesticides and all those processes at the same time.
Oh, that's good to
You
know.
know, fluoride is a little bit more rare because it's also, medicine considers it, but we're always checking for pesticides and lead and everything else in the process.
Great. And we'll go through another podcast about motility testing. Tom talked about that briefly, a way to test your yourself to see what supplement or food or which olive oil is better for you. There's a way to do that. And I've taught that to my boys, and it's like that'll be another good podcast. And just on a side note, Tom, I've been doing IMT on the family for years, and of course doing bone bruise technique. And because Ben's a runner, I fix up bone bruises on him regularly. And Baden just turned 8. He without any training at all, he's 100% accurate finding bone bruises. He goes through with his fingers. He goes, yeah, there's one, there's one, there's one.
Well, when you know what you're feeling, it's kind of amazing, right?
Yeah, and he just picked it up. So just an extra note, your work is spreading like that. So this is awesome, Tom, and I want to do more on GI Regen because it's I've used that Tribulus package for years, especially with food poisoning stuff. And so we'll get the links to everybody. Anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Nope, not at this point. So everybody have a great day, and I hope you try out the GI Regen for
Yeah,
yourself.
awesome. And we'll talk more about gut and the stresses about it at some point too, because that's definitely things to get you in the gut. So let
Right.
me kick off this there.